Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to season 2, episode 2 of our video journal series. We're going to be talking about love, relationships, marriage, all the ups, all the downs, and kind of just get insight on what's the best way to delve into relationships and how to maintain a healthy relationship and keeping God involved. So today we are joined by two lovely guests. We have Auntie Michelle and Uncle Devin.
Hi guys. Hi guys.
So these two are very special and important people in my life. They're my spiritual guardians, and I've known you guys since
You're born.
Since forever, and I've known them together as well since forever. So I thought it'd be great to have a conversation with you both. And they're also doing Bible study with us as well, which has been a great pivotal, I think, point in my relationship with God, leading to me getting baptised, and also my friends as well, because we've been able to grow together. So it's been lovely. So, just so that you guys can get to know Auntie Michelle and Uncle Dev, I thought it'd be nice to have a small icebreaker. So I've set you guys the challenge. You have 20 seconds each to explain your story in how you guys both met. Once your 20 seconds are done, the other person has to say it, and you cannot interrupt each other whilst you're giving your story. Is that okay?
Yes, that's fine.
Right, so I'm going to start the timer.
I'm going first.
Okay. Are you ready? 20 seconds on the dot. Your time starts now.
Okay, everybody. I left school at 16, went to Nottinghamshire County Council, and I met this gorgeous, handsome guy next to me who was 17 years old. We met over a trolley. I was selling food, and Devon came and bought some...
Yes, I was a porter. Hi, folks. A porter at the time, and obviously when we met, I bought something, and it's not like me to forget food, but I left my chocolate bar on the table.
Oh! You're not allowed the next 20 seconds. Keep going.
Yeah, and literally from there, we haven't looked back. We met each other at the old comprehensive school, kept on seeing each other throughout the summer. Winter came.
Okay, so it was fruit pastels actually that he left. But anyway, we would continue to meet at the school, and then we would, well, he'd never meet me on a Sabbath, and I'd always say to him, why aren't you meeting me on a Saturday? And I was thinking, is he meeting somebody else? Is he doing something else? And then
Michelle actually you then asked me, saying, what are you doing? And I literally explained that I go to church on the Sabbath, all dressed up, looking all smart. And then you were interested in why I went to church and why I was different from all the other guys. And literally, you started to have Bible studies.
Time.
So, yes, the story continues. So, Devon was very different from the other guys that I'd known, and he was so loving, so caring, very respectful. He'd always be thinking about me, and I think that's what drew me to him. There was something very, very, very different.
Sorry, that was great.
and literally, I met Michelle whilst I believe I was 1 foot in one foot out of church. I was a break dancer at the time. Quite good at what was it?
But if you do say so yourself.
Literally, we just hit it off. We became really good friends, and then you wanted to have Bible studies, which is fantastic. And literally, I think that.
Okay, but what I need to tell you is our first date was very interesting. We met outside the Odeon Cinema in town, and I looked really nice in my lovely miniskirt and top and nice, all dressed up. And I thought, where is he? He was late, which wasn't very good. But then he pulled up on a BMX bike in a show suit. I couldn't believe it.
I did say I was a break dancer at the time, and yes, that's the mode of transport we had in them days. But literally, we walked along, remember the river embankment, and we just talked, and and before you know it, we were dating. You started to have Bible studies with my cousin, and you then decided you wanted to be baptized, and you wanted to follow God.
The most important thing for me was I'd already fallen in love with Devon, but I had to know that I was going to church for the right reasons, not just for Devon. So obviously, if things didn't work out, I needed to know that I would still have that relationship with God and still remain in church. So it was very important to me that, yes, I loved Devon, but I constantly prayed to God that he'd brought the right person in my life. I come from a family that aren't religious, really. They probably follow the values of Christianity, but they didn't go to church. So I had to make sure that it was right for me and that I would continue to go to church even if things didn't work out. But praise God, God saw a way and it did work out for us, and we're here now. And Devon's a big part of my life. I wouldn't be without him. But I suppose Devon's always told me that God has to be the main person in my life, and Devon comes second.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Do you have any closing remarks?
Yes, my closing remarks is I knew Michelle was the right person, and in the early days, the reason why I knew she was the right person because she had an amazing relationship with my mother. She came to see me, never spent no time with me. She spent more time with my mum, and they were great friends. And for me, that cemented the fact that Michelle was the right person for me. She was loving, caring, kind. Colour wasn't an issue. What it was love, and we loved each other, and we were great friends. And God was the central part of that.
Oh, and just to finish off, sorry Naomi, but just to finish off, I loved spending time with Devon's mum. She was an absolutely incredible person, and she taught me how to cook West Indian food, because obviously I needed to know that, you know, I knew the culture. So she taught me how to cook West Indian food. We spent lots of time together. But I think as well, what was so special to me was how Devon was with his mum. His mum was everything. How he was with his mum was incredible. And I thought, if he's like that with his mum, he'll be like that with me too. He'll look after me like he looked after his mum. His mum was everything to him. And you could really see that in their relationship.
That was beautiful. That was truly beautiful. Did you ever end up going to the cinema? Because you said you met at the Odeon.
I will talk. So one time we did go to the cinema, but the thing was, I got in, no problem. And the lady said to him, "How old are you? Have you got identification that you're 18? So we had to ring his sister, who rang them, and then we went in. So we did go in, didn't we?
Oh, okay, you did in the end.
Yeah. It was a constant problem for me. I got pulled over by the police for driving because I was too young. You know, I was never too young. I was of age. Even at the age of 25, I was being pulled over. It was ridiculous. But it's what it is. It's a blessing now.
It is, exactly. Young forever. Can't go
There
wrong.
you go.
Okay, so now you've got to know them a bit more. I'm going to start off with a small question. So my first question is, what is the purpose of marriage? And do you think it's still important in today's day and age?
I definitely think it's important. God, when he created Adam, says it's not good for man to be alone, and he provided for him an helpmate, somebody to be his sole person. When you look at creation, you look at God created the animals, male and female. God really wanted for man not to be on his own, but to have somebody, a helpmate with him. And that's not to say that people who are single shouldn't celebrate and be single. But I knew for that in my life, when the relationship I had with my mum wouldn't always be there, and I had a desire to have a relationship and to share my life with somebody else.
Yeah. Yourself?
So I agree 100% with Devon, and also to add on to that, I'm so glad I wasn't born in days before Jesus was came to this earth, because I could not share Devon with anybody else. Where other kings and things like that, they had lots of wives. I couldn't do that because I couldn't do it. So for me, marriage is really, really important, and it's nice to share the good times, the bad times, the sad times, the happy times. There's so much to share. Marriage isn't easy. It's not easy, and obviously we are a mixed race married couple, so we probably probably have more probably added, would you say, pressure sometimes? So, yeah, but like Uncle Devon said, it was the first marriage that he performed in the Garden of Eden, and it was a marriage made in heaven in the very beginning.
Yeah. So would you say that the purpose of marriage is to help one another by saying like Adam and Eve was a helpmate?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, what would you say?
God said, be fruitful and multiply.
So yes, it is very, very important. And, you know, I don't think I was ever cut out to be on my own. And I know God put Devon in my life for a reason. So, yeah.
So my next question is, in the Bible, it tells us that we should love the Lord our God with all our strength, with all our mind, and love your neighbour as yourself. So in terms of a marriage, how do we make sure that we are loving God first and then also loving the person as well, but making sure God is first and foremost in a healthy way?
Okay, so when I started to have Bible studies and we started to obviously talk about marriage and going forward, Devon always has said to me that God is number one in his life. No matter what, God is number one. And he's always encouraged me and pushed me, I suppose, in a positive way to put God first in everything we do and all the decisions. And no matter what happens, Devon's always said, I could let you down, but God will never let you down. So always put God first. And it's important to have God at the head of our home, to have devotions together and separately, and just to make sure that our love is constant with God, but also with one another.
Yeah, just to add to that as well, Michelle mentioned the fact that you could let a person down, and I've always said that because, you know, one of the things that I learned at a very early age, at the age of 26, I lost my mother, and that person who you love dearly can't guarantee they'll be there for you all the time. So you have to have someone you can hold on to no matter what. And God isn't a substitute. God should always be first. First in the morning, first in the afternoon, first in the evening. God is the pendulum within our marriage. One, it has to be, because you come from various cultures and we have various nuances or various things we do which may be slightly different, but God is the overruling arch in every part of our relationship. He is the one what guides us, what shapes us, our relationship, and ultimately blesses us with the love and the will and the desire to always want to be with one another.
Yeah.
And I think that sharing God's love with, as well as a couple and individually, with whoever we meet. Do you know what I mean? So I think we try and do that as much as we can, don't we? As individuals and as a married couple, we allow God to use us to minister to neighbours, friends, family, work colleagues, whoever we meet. We try and reflect that. Not that I'm perfect, 'cause I'm not, and I know Devon would definitely say the same, but we try. And it's important to have God in the head of your home, because trials do come. It's not all a bed of roses. So you need to have that connection. So if you do fall out, you can go on your knees and pray, because God changes that anger in your heart when you've had an argument, and then you can go back and say, I'm sorry, talk, pray, and move on.
Yeah. I guess also it's kind of like, because we're called to share God's love, like our main purpose as individuals is to share God's love with everyone. So if we don't come together and make God the first thing, then we could end up kind of idolizing each other rather than God. So then when people get to know you, instead of you reflecting God, you're reflecting one another, which isn't a bad thing, but our purpose is to reflect God, not just one another, because as you said, we can let each other down. So we could reflect someone else and then someone does something wrong and then we're looking down on that person, but really it should be God, because he's never going to change.
He's never going to change.
My next question for you is, how important is it that you still date one another whilst being married?
Absolutely. 100%. I've always said to Devon, I'm the very romantic one in our marriage. And I've had to train Devon to be that way. Train him. And he's there now, aren't you, babe? Yeah. You're there now. So, but I'm very romantic, very touchy-feeling. You know, I'm quite happy if Devon's at the kitchen washing the pots, just have a little squeeze of the bum or a little squeeze like this. Quite happy to do that. Do you know what I mean? Because I think it's important, you know. Yeah. Devon will ring me every day, 2-3 times in the day. If not, I will ring him. So we're constantly talking to each other. Yeah. I'll buy gifts, or when I used to do sandwiches at his lunch for him, I'd put messages in and things like that. So I think it's really, really important. And I must admit, we're really good. Even when we had the boys, we'd always take time to go out for a meal, just go for a walk, because, boy, our life changed when we had the children. So it was nice, wasn't it? And so, yeah, I'm a great believer in it.
Yeah. And, you know, and also when children came along, the first thing we did, and this is more Michelle, and it's to Michelle's organisation skills. And I think there's strengths within your marriage, and you've got to use those strengths and then trust one another and work as an effective team, because it then enables you and gives you be an effective relationship for you, so you've got more time. Yeah. So one of the things Michelle really was a stickler for is at 6 o'clock, 6:30, the boys were in bed. So, hallelujah, because it gave us the evening. It gave us the evening, and you know, because and for anybody, I'd advise anybody, when you have children and young children, put them to bed early. They will sleep through the night. At first, yes, it's difficult. I remember we waking up and crying and hugging one another because the boys were screaming and crying, and I was out to go to work in the morning. You were shattered, I was shattered, but we got through it. And even after that, you know, we will find time for each other. No matter if we're tired, we'll sit down there and have like pajama evenings. Sometimes we just have a film night. Yeah. You know, if it means that we can't go out, there's various things we'll do. You just got to be creative.
And I think as well, most importantly, it's that communication. You've got to keep talking. You've got to say. Many times we sat there and go, oh, this is hard work. But you get through it. You get through it. And now the boys are older, and now our life is starting again. Yeah. So, you know, we can go out a lot more. We go for walks now, don't we? So we don't have so much a date night now, because the boys are older, and we just go for walks, we go shopping, we love holidays, so if God blesses us, we're able to go abroad, we go to the theatre, we go to the cinema, so we do lots of things to go together, and I encourage it. But I also have my friends as well, and Devon has his friends, so we also make sure, as well as doing things together, we have our separate friends, and we do things separately. And also, if we've got our friends that are couples, then we do something with them
together. Yeah.
I think as well, in our relationship, we did a lot together. In our mission work, it might not work for everybody, but for us, we were a formidable force, I believe, in regards to Sabbath school, adventurers, pathfinders, youth, teens, youth. I think we've been to so many places in Europe with the young people, and so many different places in the UK with the teens and the youth. And the memories we will always treasure.
Yeah. I kind of wanted to ask as well, like, obviously I'm not married, God willing, someday. But people say when it comes to marriage, like at the beginning, you date each other, you get to know each other. Then once you're married, you're kind of there. And then when you have kids, they don't make time for it. So then when it comes to now the kids have gone, that communication of staying updated with each other in individual interests, what they're doing with life, like how they are. Then now when it comes to the kids being left, there's kind of like I don't really know the person as much.
That is so true.
So like how do you make sure that the communication whilst you're married remains the same, so that when the kids have left, you still kind of know the person that you're still married with?
Well, again, there was a lot we did together in our ministry as well, which meant that we was always engaged. We was always because in marriage there are various stages in marriage. There are the beginning, the courtship, the marriage without the children, and the heart-wrenching times you had, all that type of stuff. Then there may be illnesses and various other things which then then is another stage of marriage. Then the children grow to a certain age, and even though I believe the men sort of like don't worry so much, mothers still have that attachment and will still always worry. So there's always that. But then there's another stage, like you say, when the children are more independent, is finding again that courtship time and being able to, but because we have been so involved and engaged with one another, while we've got all this time, what do we do with it? It didn't take long for us to fill it. To fill it.
Of course. No, I think, so you kind of went on to the next question, which was, how important is it that you do ministry together with one another, and what blessings have you received from it? Because I think I was reading in the Bible and it talks about Priscilla and Aquila, and they were two people that did ministry together and then worked alongside Paul. And after reading that, my mindset has kind of changed as really for a relationship that I want going in the future. I want someone to do life together, which involves my purpose, which involves what God wants me to do, so that I don't lose sight in that. How important is that, and what have you done together?
I think it's very important, and I think God obviously had a plan for us as a couple, and we both love young people. And so I think that's the way God guided us, didn't he? So we was in Sabbath school. I mean, you must remember when we ran Sabbath school with Aunt Kelsey and Uncle David. And then we were in Adventurers, Pathfinders. We've been to Aberdaron. So we've been house parents at Aberdaron quite a few times.
Prayer Warriors.
We've been to Prayer Warriors. We've travelled with the youth to Austria. We took them to Croatia. Rome. So we've done a lot with the young people, and I think that has helped us as well in our in our Christian path, haven't we, really? It's helped us both, and I've really enjoyed working with Devon, as well as I'm sure he's enjoyed working with me as well. But then we've also had our own separate ministries. So I've helped in other roles within church, and so has Devon. So I think that's quite nice as well. Yeah. But I think it's really important to have something to do together, because it strengthens you both and strengthens your relationship with each other and with God. Because all said and done, God is the head of it. Yeah. So I think it's really important, but it might not be for everybody. Mm-hmm. So I suppose it depends how you are, but we enjoyed it. I mean, we've argued when we've ran these trips and things like that, but you know what I mean, you get through it and we laugh about it now, but the memories we have is incredible. Yeah. And even the young people that come back to us and talk about it. So yeah, it's a blessing. So I would definitely say yeah.
Yeah.
And when did you find out that you both had such a passion for helping young people? Was that like from the beginning when you met? Is that something that you realised, or was it down the line once you got married? Or
bit down the line, but after, because I was always in Sabbath school with the younger children, and then you came in, didn't you? Because I saw we needed a bit more, so you came in, and then it just went from there and went from strength to strength, and we love it. And like, I can't see me being in another department yet. Can you? Because I just love the young people, and my passion is for them to have that closer relationship with God. And I wasn't brought up in the church, so I never had that. Yeah. So I pray that they receive that, something that I didn't get when I was younger.
No, and you can tell from the both of you, like, how much you care and pour into the young people, and it's received very well. So no, it's really appreciated.
God be praised.
There are times when I don't think there was any space left in the front room, because everybody sat down having dinner. I remember the camps on the front garden, Pathfinder camps. I remember the Super Dev long walks in Pathfinders.
6-8 hours.
Yeah, and we could go on. Remember the red minibus?
Yeah,
the red took us everywhere, and
to Croatia.
It went it went absolutely everywhere. So all those memories will always be a part of who we are as individuals. But all what we've done isn't on our backs. It's on, again, God is the central focus. What gets us up in the morning, what gives us that desire, what gives us that wanting to serve and continue to serve, because we're not getting any younger. is the fact that God fuels us.
Yeah.
God gives us a fuel to get up and go again.
No, and I kind of just want to ask, do you think that's also helped with remaining equally yoked because you are both in ministry together? It's not just one person.
Yeah.
I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely.
Because our mission is the same.
Yes.
Our goal is the same. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think it is very important.
So my final question is, what advice would you give to people that are newly married?
Oh, what
You
advice?
go
to give
first.
Again, I would say.
No, I'll go. I've got it. Okay. So what I would say is always put God first.
Yeah.
Always put God first. Find yourself a nice, married couple book, a spiritual book that you can have, and a journal, and journal together. And read your devotion, spend time together. Communication is, I've said it, is the key. No matter what, keeping your relationship to yourselves and not sharing it with your friends or anybody else. Your relationship is your relationship together and with God. So we've always said that. Don't ever talk to people about your relationships. Yes, you may have problems, and if you have problems like that, you go to the right people. Be very, very cautious. So, I would say be very cautious. Yeah. But it's very important to spend time together, talk, communicate, laugh together, cry together, have fun together, keep the romance going. So I think it's really important. And those bad times will come, but you will get through it. With God's help, you will get through it.
Just keep God the centre. And all I can say is keep God centre. You've got to, and I always say this, people always say, oh, well, you've got to find time with your ministry, with supporting, and I will say this, your family are important. They shouldn't be they shouldn't rule your marriage. But when you go into a marriage and there's a divide between the families, it can cause contention. When choosing a partner, right, it's a life partner. And it's not something should be taken lightly. Relationships isn't about what you see on television. Relationships is, I will not still have a six-pack 10 years down the line. I'm breathing it. I probably have, but it's hidden. It's hidden, right? And I will not always look my greatest, but find somebody who will love you for who you are.
Yeah.
Well, can I just add on to that? Sorry, I'll add on to that as well. Families are very, very important. And like I said, you keep your arguments and that together. But I'd also say Devon's family is a really big part of my life. And when I married Devon, I married his family as well. And the relationship I have with all his sisters and his family is a wonderful relationship. So yes, I gained a husband, but I gained another family as well. And we go out for meals, we go away, we do things. I'm able to go and talk to them as well, if I wasn't well or whatever. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's nice that I can go. I don't need Devon with me. I just go. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? So I think that relationship as well that I have with his family, I've not just said, oh, I've married Devon and he's all mine. No, I did marry his family as well, and they're a big part of our lives. So yeah.
And the feeling is mutual. Your mum she's a little darling, because she's very little. but when there's things want doing, she'll ring. She doesn't feel that she has to worry. I've taken her out for dinner. We have a laugh and a joke. And Sharon and Darren, your sister, I was recently ill, and Darren gives me a call to say how I am, and he's ill now, and I'm calling to see how he is, and we have a really strong relationship across both families. That might not be the same for everybody, because I can't say that's the model. I can't say you know, that's going to be the situation, and because if you haven't got that, your marriage isn't going to work. That wouldn't be fair. But what I would say, it's a blessing if it is.
Yeah, yeah. Don't take it for granted. Yeah. No, well, thank you so much for joining in the conversation and having this chat with us. I hope you guys at home enjoyed it as well. If you have anything to add to what's been said or any questions, please leave your comment below. But I want to say thank you for being here. Have you enjoyed yourself?
Yeah.
Please make sure to like, comment and subscribe and join in next week for the next week's video. Have a great day. See you later. Bye. Yay. Thank you.